2024 has been an absolutely insane year for music, and here is my top 10 favorite albums of the year so far. So starting off in no particular order, we have Don Toliver with his album Hardstone Psycho. My favorite song would have to be Last Laugh, and the best feature would have to go to Travis Scott, who's featured twice. Up next, we have the collab album of Kanye West and Ty Dolla $ign with Vultures 1. I personally think this is better than Vultures 2 that dropped a few weeks ago. My favorite song would have to be Back to Me, and the best feature would have to go to Freddie Gibbs on the same song. Up next, we have Eminem, The Death of Slim Shady. Now, the best feature by far has to go to JID or JID, however you want to say it. And my personal favorite song would be Habits featuring White Gold. Up next, we have Blast with his album I'll Always Come Find You. The best feature would probably have to go to Offset, and my favorite song would have to be Reason. Up next, we have Moneybagg Yo with his album Speak Now. Nothing to do with Taylor Swift at all. The best feature would probably have to go to Lil Durk. It's a bit of a toss-up between him and Morgan Wallen. And then my favorite song would be Whiskey Whiskey, which Morgan Wallen features on. My next favorite album is Joyner Lucas, Not Now, I'm Busy. I think the best feature would have to go to NBA Youngboy, and my favorite song would be Best For Me featuring Jelly Roll. Up next, we have Yelawolf with his album War Story. I think the best feature would have to go to Kasky, and my favorite song is Another Drink. Up next, we have the Kid Laroi with his album The First Time Deluxe Edition. Now, technically, this album did drop last year, but he only just dropped a deluxe edition a couple of weeks ago. Now, on this deluxe edition, there was only one feature, which was Lil Yachty. So overall, throughout the whole album, my favorite feature and what I think is probably the best feature, it probably goes to Central C. But my favorite song on the deluxe edition would have to be Stick With Me. But my favorite song overall on the full album would probably be Sorry. Up next, we have a pretty recent album that is really creeping up to be one of my favorite albums this year, and that's Post Malone with F1 Trillion. This album has been on repeat for me lately. I think the best feature is honestly a toss-up between three people. I would say Jelly Roll, Blake Shelton, and Morgan Wallen. I've been playing those three tracks a lot. So if I had to narrow it down, I'd probably give it to Blake Shelton. And my favorite song off F1 Trillion would have to go to Never Love You Again featuring Sierra Ferrell. And last but not least, we have my favorite album of 2024 so far. I think this is the best thing in my opinion that has dropped this year, and that is Shaboozey with his album Where I've Been Isn't Where I'm Going. I think the best feature would be a toss-up between Noah Cyrus and Big X The Plug, but if we're going like vocal-wise and just performance-wise, I'd give it to Noah Cyrus. Absolutely love that song. And my favorite song would be Highway. So that concludes my list for my top 10 favorite albums of 2024 so far, and now I want to know, what is your favorite album that has dropped this year? Let me know in the comments below.